Hey there, welcome back and thanks for joining me. All my supplies and equipment are down in my description box. There's also an Amazon store you can visit. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, hit that notification bell. And likes, comments, and questions are welcome. All right. This is a fun flower. I don't know why I'm getting tongue-tied, but this is a fun little card to do. Now, these are, real life book pages, and you can see the different looks. I tend to stick with this one, but this one's all right too. So here's your two sizes that I generally do, a 9x4 and a 6x4. So this is usually the size I go after. So my first thing I do is find a book, get the pages out. If the name of the book is interesting, leave it in your picture. Leave it at the top. It's pretty cool. All right. And then I've sprayed it. Now, I've messed around with the Kmart varnish, the UV resistant clear, and the clear glaze. You could also just do straight clear acrylic. I wondered if any of these would do better than the other. They all kind of do the same. They kind of turn it a little yellowish, it's kind of antique-y looking. So I don't see a difference. So kind of whatever you've got is my theory on that one. This is what I'm going to use for the leaves. I've got a straight one, but then there's this angled one. There's not really, there's a learning curve on it, but I like them. I have a bigger catalyst that's all rubber. It's harder for this small of a leaf, so the smaller spatula type thing, whatever this is, will work better in my opinion. All right, what I'm starting off with is Pinata Blanco Blanco. I've got crimson here. You can do watermelon. Watermelon's a little brighter, and I think I still like the deepness of this. So I'm going to stick with the crimson. For my leaves, I use my sap green, my favorite. Now, pay attention on these acrylic inks. Some of them are thinner than others. The sap green is a great consistency. The other green, there's another green that I use. Geez, I don't know what it is. A little thinner. It doesn't do as well. So this is my go-to. So just learn your paints like that and you can make better choices. Okay, so now I'm looking at this much of my paper going to be used. So I need to stay within the written boundaries. I can go a little bit out. It's okay to cut some off unless you just really don't want to. So kind of look at where things are stopping and starting, and that gives you an idea of what you can work with. Okay, let's get going. Now I'm going to use my Tim Holtz blowing tool. Now, a little thing on this, I've had some questions. They can't get theirs to do right. After I've taken a little time off, I went back to use this. Oh, I couldn't use it. I kept getting real close and it would just make a line. I backed off and did this. So play with how close you are to your paper. You get right down on it, it's going to shoot it harder and shoot a straight line. You back up, 4 or 5 inches, and you're going to get a totally different look. So play with how high and low to the paper you are with your blowing tool. And that's the same thing with an air compressor, air gun, or a brush. You got to play. You got to play and find your spot. Okay. So here, I typically do put down the white first. You don't have to, but that's just me. Why is this so hard? I'm going to do it right here. And I only do, well, there was 2 drops. And I wanted to kind of spread out. So I'm getting up higher and I scoot it around a little bit because sometimes you just have to handle it. All right, so that's good. Now what I'm doing now is just drying enough to get it dried, because if I left a puddle in this corner, it's going to round up. It's just going to kind of spread out and round, and That's not what I'm wanting. I'm wanting these little sharp edges. And you know, sometimes, like right now, I am just struggling. But you know what? Go for it. I mean, it's just part of it. Now, I think I'm going to put a little more white, maybe 2 drops of white to 1 drop of color, and see where that gets me. I like the change up of the colors. And then just keep blowing it until it's pretty dry, not going to move around on you again. Now you don't want to do back too much because you will develop a line. It's not that big of a deal on this. Some things I do not want that back line, so I keep going forward. But in this one, I don't know, I think anything goes. It's almost like when it's on this paper, it doesn't have to be as exact or perfect as you might think. I like that there's white right here because I will put yellow or goldy, not really gold, more yellow glitter, and it gives it just a nice soft yellowy center. Now you could put white on there and then put the glitter and it'll show up more. If you're not lucky enough to have that happen. Oh, that's a lot of white. A lot of white. Let's see if I can fix that. Fix it or not, it's staying because I like it. Yeah. You know, I kind of want some white up in here, so I'm going to do this. That. And I'm going to put the white right on where I want white, but I'm going to put the red to the end there. All right, yeah, I'm good with that. All right, so those 2 are out. Now let's start. Now this is a piece of paper from Labels. It's kind of slick on this side, so it will not let the acrylic ink sink in and get lost. So I keep those and use them. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, kind of drag it. Just put me a stem. All right, I'm going to leave it. I may go over them a time or two, but not too much after that. And if they're not perfect, leave them. That's what makes them cool. All right, so let's get this dry. Tell tell you what, while that's drying, I can do this. So I do want to put a little bit of white. And I'm getting a Posca pen. And let me find my glitter. Oh, sitting here right beside me. Good grief. So this is the glitter I've got. It's from Hobby Lobby. Buttercup, extra fine. But it does have some iridescent to it, so it's got a little bit of green and different type colors in there. I'm just trying to get a shape in there that I like. Oh, I never did open it. Now, because the red is going to be a little on the tacky side, you want to try to do this directly over. For the moment, anyway. Because when you shake it off, it'll collect anything. I usually try to take mine outside and flick it real quick, but okay. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, that's not too bad. I mean, you still have a little bit out through here, but that's fine. I like that. I like that center. But I do want to stick some glue on that, because I want it a little bit brighter. I like the white, but I want it a little bit on the brighter side. And the glue I like is this Aleene's tacky glue. I like that. There we go. Now that'll dry clear. It won't look quite as white, but get the idea. Now I can go ahead and start cutting this. I have pre-cut my cards into, these are, let's see what they are, 9 by about 6 1/4. Then I've scored down the center so I can fold it into a card. So let me get my cutter and we'll get that cut. Now, my card width is now 4 1/2 by 6 1/4. So to be safe, I'll do like a actual 4 by 6 picture. Now remember, this is still wet. I like to go right down the side of the letters. Now on this side, there's a 4. I'm going to take it a tad over, because I can go a 4 1/4 and still have a border around there, because my page size is 4 1/2. You can always cut it down. Let's see, I got my name on my book in there. All right, I like this cutter because look, it's got my extension, so I can still measure. There's 6. All right, there is my picture. And that is going to go right there. And that's going to look nice. That's got a little bit of a white all the way around it. So that will look pretty good. Now I've got my double-sided tape. I've lost my end. There it is. This is going to be tricky. I'm going to try it anyway. Because with it not being dry, but I'm not going to press on that, so hopefully I'll do fine. And you can see the difference in the color of the paper. Just a little bit. Although I do think the varnish makes it a little yellow ear. Yellow ear. Yeah, did it. All right. I didn't stand up, so I've gotten it a little crooked, but you know what? It's a handmade card, so that is perfectly fine. Now, let me show you this. These are in my Amazon store, and there are the stamps I put on the back of my card. So this one has Made with Love, Scary Hair Lady Art, and then I've got my email. You can put your website. This one says hand painted and made by Eloise, Scary Hair Lady Art. So I like both of them. This has more information. So if somebody's going to look you up, both of them have Scary Hair Lady on it. And you can look up Scary Hair Lady and find all kinds of stuff. It's a little scary, but it's there. That dries pretty quick on this cardstock. All I have to do now, I want to do it this way, is fold where my crease is. And there's my card. And I keep mine blank on the inside. But there you go. So y'all go have fun. Make some cards. Send somebody some love. And y'all go have a good day.